Amid the desert, where the wind drags sands that are thousands of years old, giant stone structures rise up as if defying time and reason. The Pyramids of Giza, witnesses to dawn for more than 4,500 years, stand as immovable enigmas. For centuries, their purpose, design, and symbolism have been interpreted through lenses ranging from rigorous science to fantastic legend. Today, however, a non-human mind, an artificial intelligence capable of analyzing invisible patterns and correlating historical data with advanced mathematics, dares to look beyond the surface. What secrets might the pyramids reveal if we view them through the lens of AI? Were they merely tombs or repositories of knowledge that transcend their era? Before embarking on this journey through time and science, remember you can subscribe to our channel and support this content so it reaches more people. Your participation helps us continue exploring mysteries like this one, where archaeology, mathematics, and imagination intertwine. This is a journey for those who are willing to doubt what seems obvious and listen to what the stones whisper in silence. The AI began its analysis by marveling at the pyramid's orientation. When the faces of the Great Pyramid of Khufu are compared against the cardinal points, the margin of deviation is almost non-existent, less than 1/4 of a degree, just a few minutes of arc. Imagine constructing a monument of millions of stone blocks with a deviation smaller than the thickness of a human hair if you projected it to scale. And it's not just Khufu's pyramid. The pyramids of Khafre and Menkaure share a slight counterclockwise rotation, a common geometric signature suggesting a unified measurement method. The AI then wondered, how did the builders achieve such precision? It drew on recent experiments involving astronomy and shadow. Picture an Egyptian priest driving a staff into the sand during the autumn equinox, when day and night are equal. As the sun traverses the sky, the shadow traces a perfect curve. If 2 points in this trajectory, one at sunrise, one at sunset, are marked and connected, the line drawn nearly coincides with the east-west axis. The AI simulated these shadows on the Giza Plateau and found that the slight deviation observed in the pyramids matches the difference between an ideal equinox and a real one. With methods that appear simple, the ancient Egyptians achieved precision that rivals modern instruments. Aligning their monuments with a celestial phenomenon carries a double beauty. It unites scientific observation with a reverence for nature's cycles. Orientation wasn't the only mystery. The AI examined the internal proportions of the Great Pyramid and discovered something even more fascinating. If you take the perimeter of the base and divide it by twice the height, the result approximates 3.1416. That is P. Put another way, the slope of the faces corresponds almost exactly to the fraction 4p. This means the pyramid AS proportions translate into stone the relationship between a circle, AS circumference, and its radius. Was it coincidence? Some historians argue that the result might have arisen by chance, due to the units of measurement and aesthetic considerations. Yet the match is too precise not to provoke awe. Whether or not the builders knew the constant P precisely, the pyramid symbolically squares the circle. It unites the linear and the curved, the earthly and the celestial, through a proportional game. The AI also looked for traces of the golden ratio, 1.618, that divine proportion seen in nautilus spirals and flower petals, and according to some, in classical architecture. Dividing the pyramid's height by half its base yields a value very close to this number. That might suggest a nod to natural harmony. Nonetheless, experts disagree. Some argue it's a statistical coincidence, while others say there was an intent to mirror the cosmic order. The debate remains open. By superimposing these proportions with diagrams of the human figure, the AI sensed that the Egyptians may have conceived their monuments as bridges between arithmetic and universal harmony. In its analysis, the AI went beyond geometry. It observed micro-fissures in the limestone, tiny cracks running through the pyramid, and found that many organize into fractal patterns, shapes repeating at different scales. This might be an erosion effect, time interacting with the structure, or perhaps the work itself obeys natural laws expressed on its surface. These observations inspire the idea that the monument is a canvas on which time paints geometric figures. The stone isn't static, but in dialogue with its environment. The AI also studied unexpected physical properties. Some theoretical models suggest the Great Pyramid's inner chambers might function as resonators, concentrating electromagnetic energy. This does not prove the Egyptians used the pyramid as an energy device, but it's intriguing that its shape enhances radio waves of certain wavelengths. Perhaps the ancients observed acoustic or vibrational effects and conceived spaces resonating with specific frequencies. One can imagine rituals in which the structure amplified chants or sacred sounds, creating unique sensory experiences. But the stone's secrets don't end there. In 2016, an international team using muon tomography, subatomic particles that penetrate matter, discovered a hidden void inside the Great Pyramid, a roughly 9-meter-long corridor with a vaulted ceiling near the north face. It doesn't connect to known burial chambers, and its function is unknown. The AI compared its location with maps of acoustic resonance and noticed that it coincides with areas where vibrations concentrate. Was it part of a design to relieve structural stress, a symbolic path for the pharaoh's soul, or a cavity intended to resonate with priests' and priestesses' voices? These technical discoveries coexist with a sea of speculation. Some claim there's a correlation between the Giza pyramids and Orion's belt, the stars Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. Others refute the theory due to lack of textual evidence. When the AI overlaid celestial coordinates from 4,500 years ago with the pyramid's positions, it saw an intriguing, though inconclusive, match. Perhaps the builders didn't intend a direct replication, but they did endow their monuments with symbolic ties to the sky. After all, these structures gaze upward. They're designed to link Earth with what lies beyond. Along that connection, the AI studied the narrow star shafts, leaving the Great Pyramid's inner chambers. Some point toward specific stars: Sirius, sacred star of the Nile; Thuban, the era's North Star, and certain stars in Orion's belt. These shafts don't allow direct observation, as some are sealed. Their purpose might have been symbolic, connecting the buried pharaoh with the celestial realms. The AI simulated Earth's precession and saw that these alignments change over time, suggesting that, rather than a calendar, the shafts symbolize eternity, an invitation to transcend the material plane and ascend to the celestial spheres. The AI then broadened its view, comparing Egypt's pyramids to monuments elsewhere. In Teotihuacan, Mexico, the Pyramid of the Moon stands at the end of a vast avenue. Archaeoastronomical studies suggest the temple aligns with solstices and certain volcano peaks, framing sunrises and sunsets on sacred dates. In Cambodia, Angkor's temples carve Mount Meru, the cosmic axis in Hindu mythology, in stone. In Nubia, Sudan, small pyramids point skyward above the graves of Kushite kings. In Indonesia and Cambodia, tiered pyramids recall sacred volcanoes. The AI saw patterns, square bases, axes pointing to cardinal directions, orientations toward celestial events, and an echo between the pyramidal form and the primordial mountain. Each culture interpreted the cosmos in its own way, but everywhere the pyramid serves as a bridge between Earth and stars. These parallels don't necessarily indicate direct contact between civilizations, but they hint at a shared intuition. The pyramid shape, narrowing as it rises, symbolizes spiritual ascent. Aligning it with cardinal points reflects both astronomical knowledge and a search for balance. The AI concluded that a gaze toward the heavens lies at the heart of these projects. The monuments were designed to connect humans with the cosmos, to create architecture resonating with the cycles of sun and stars. What then do these stones tell us? The AI didn't just gather data, it listened across the centuries. By analyzing each block, angle, and shadow, it perceived that the pyramids are more than tombs. They are books of stone written in the universal language of geometry. They speak of a people who mastered observational and calculation techniques that still astonish us. But they also reveal a worldview in which technical knowledge and symbolism intertwine. The near-perfect cardinal alignment, the use of the equinox to trace lines, the approximation of P in their proportions, the electromagnetic resonance of their chambers, and the hidden voids all point to astonishing technical mastery. Yet myths and speculation about stars, energy, and consciousness remind us that science and imagination complement each other. Perhaps that is the pyramid's greatest legacy, inviting us to combine reason with intuition, measurement with metaphor. They prompt us to ask whether these structures were built to communicate messages across generations, or whether they mirror the human quest for meaning in the order of the universe. When we gaze upon these colossi, we feel their gaze in return. They have seen civilizations rise and fall. Their shadows have marked countless moons. Through its cool, analytical perspective, the AI shows us their image and compels us to ask, were they designed as tombs, or as messages carved in stone, waiting millennia for a mathematical consciousness to decipher them? Meanwhile, curiosity lives on. The pyramids remain laboratories for new technologies, measurement objects for drones and satellites, and sources of inspiration for artists and philosophers. Perhaps, if we learn to listen to them with both heart and mind, we'll discover that their secrets aren't lost formulas or energy machines, but reminders of our capacity to dream. For in building these mountains of stone lies something profoundly human: the desire to transcend, to lift our gaze to the sky, and to create a place where time stands still. That dream is eternal, and as long as it endures, the pyramids will continue to rise above the desert, whispering that life's mystery isn't meant to be solved, but contemplated.